Okay, guys, today I want to make a video talking about how America built their wealth upon what what made America so great, or the United States so great, above all country. I'm not talking about right now, but I'm talking about before in the past, okay? And how the world built their wealth on what, okay? If you have watch all my videos and follow me, you probably know the answer already. And you already know, okay? America built their wealth not upon business, okay? America built their wealth upon selling their ass. You are successful because you sell your ass and you sell your soul to the devil. That's how, in selling drugs, that's where the real truth and the real money is at. By prostitution, selling your ass, sucking cock, kissing ass, selling your soul to the devil, and by selling drugs. Okay? Successful people kissing ass and sucking cock and selling their soul to the devil. That's how they able to get where they're at and where they're at. Like management, supervisor, job security, have a job, being a celebrity, being a government official, etc. You can never be successful if you play straight, okay? What I mean by playing straight is like you go to work Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day. You can get paid $50 an hour or $100 an hour. You can never pay your bills, There's no way. Let's say you make $100 an hour. You work Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 160 hours a month. There's no way you can pay your bills. You can't pay your rent. You can't pay your utility, your insurance, your gas, your car payment. You got to buy foods, water, and going out, eat, going out vacation, going out to park places, There's no way you can survive. Even if you make $100 an hour, let's just put at the highest one, $100 an hour. There's no way you can make it, I know some people make $10,000 a month and they barely survive. They're barely able to pay their bills, Okay? So this is how America and the country, the world, built their wealth upon sex, by selling their ass, by doing human trafficking and selling drugs. This is how you see people are able to pay their bills. It doesn't matter if you rent an apartment, rent a house, or you own a house or business. Mostly people that own a house and have a business because they're selling drugs and they're selling their ass. They're running human trafficking. Okay? I know that myself. I have 2 businesses and I cannot survive. I bust 3 jobs 24/7. I barely, make ends meet. I barely pay off my bills, Job security. I'm the best worker in every company I work for. They don't care. I literally run the whole company. Small company, big company, they don't care. You're getting fired. I know people that just showed up to work, sitting on their ass, playing games, watching movies, and they're getting raised like every 6 months, While I'm busting my ass, run 3 machines, and nobody cares, I make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars every night for the company, and they only pay me over $100. They don't care. I get fired, Okay? people that have job security because they're selling their ass and sucking cock and kissing ass and selling their soul to the devil. That's how they have job security. You know, that's the truth. You know, if you play straight, you can never get anywhere. You know, you could run the whole company. They don't care. You're getting fired. They don't care. You know, you don't matter. You know, so you all know that. If you have a job, you work, you know that. You see people around your workplace where some people are piece of shit, worthless, and they're getting raised, and you know they're not getting fired. Wow, you're the best worker in the company. They don't care. You're getting your ass fired. You know, okay. So I feel very shameless. I feel ashamed for those people that are successful because you know they do dirty work. You know, they're selling their soul and their ass to the boss. They're sleeping with the boss, co-worker, management. You know, that's how they don't get fired. That's how they get to keep their job. You know. So I want to add a little bit to especially all those purple rose. You know, I have a relative that their husband loved them a lot, support them through college, and they got their like doctor's degree or master's degree, and they got like good job. They make over 100K, and when they success where they're at, and they look down on their husband because their husband is just a janitor and a regular worker, and now they got all this high profile, high class co-worker, and she cheated on him, and she looked down on her like a dog and stepped on him and divorced him. You know, this is how people are. You know, when you support your wife and she's successful, she's graduated out of college, got a BA or BS or a master associate, you know, or master bachelor degree, wherever, doctor degree, they're gonna look down on their husband, you know. But they have to remember, they got to where they're at because their husband support them. Let them go to school while he's busting ass, trying to pay the bills while you're going to school. And when you graduate, you got a good job, and you divorce him, you cheat on him, and you look down on him. You know, you're messed up, girls. You know, I know that because one of my sister-in-law dated after her husband. And I know some family relatives dated after the husband. You know, but the guy doesn't do that. You know, when they get their doctor's degree, they still love their wife. You know, they go slaughter some pussy, but they always come back, you know. But a girl, when they cheat, they get caught, they leave, you know. And they think the other guy that had been slapping her ass is going to love her, but he don't. He just slapped her for a while, a few years, and he just going to dump her. See, but a guy, when he cheat, he just want to feel good, and he still want to come back. Even though when he get caught, he doesn't leave, the wife. But the wife leave. You know, this is how stupid girls are, you know. I got off and carried away a little bit, but I just want to throw here and there, okay? So you dumbass purple rose, wake up, you know? Guys just want to feel good, you know? They keep slapping the same hole, they're going to get boring. So they want to, you know, go slap some other hole. But they still come back and love their wife, you know? They don't leave their wife unless she do him wrong. See, but the girl, when she cheat, she get caught, she leave. Or she don't get caught, she leave. You know, because she thinks that the other man's going to love her. But they just want to slap your hole, you know. And once they get tired, they're going to leave you. Okay? So, that's how America built their wealth, you know, and how people built their wealth, okay? So, that's the real truth, you know. Nobody can be successful by playing straight. You gotta be dirty and evil, you know. You gotta be evil to be kind. You gotta be cruel to be kind, you know. So, life is not fair. Life is really cruel, guys. You know. So, you guys already know. And people that have business, you can't just open a business. You have to have special permission from the cartel and from the devil. You can't just go and open a business. They're going to shut you down. And they're going to have people not come and support you, you know. People that are successful in business, because they do dirty. When a business first open, they will have their friends and family to stage as a customer, and they're using clones to hype their business. So for the first year, so this way people will know about their business. That's how they are able to be successful. Okay, if you just open business and just regular advertise, nobody ain't gonna come to your business. Maybe one here and there. Want to try it out wherever your business is. See, but most business, they hype their business. They stage, like make it look like their business all busy and people are going in and out, in and out. This is how they, and also advertisement through TVs or commercial or whatever. You know, that's how people are get their business well known. But at the same time, they have the cartel. The programmer of the devil will have Jackass Pac-Man simulate you to go do human trafficking at that business. That's how they're able to be successful. Okay? I use the example, like the Asian supermarket on Tulare and Chestnut and TC Fresh supermarket on Belmont and Chestnut. They're successful because that's a copy of Elon Musk. You know, Bobby Lee, Zhang Hong Lee, and Zhu Baoxiong, they're all a copy of T, Elon Musk, Superman. So he simulate people to go do human trafficking out of their business. But her supermarket on Asian Village are dead. Nobody goes there. They provide the same best service as any other store, as same as Asian supermarket and TC Fresh supermarket. But why nobody goes there? Because Elon Musk, T doesn't simulate people to go there. That's why they don't have no customer. You know, they have the same service, the same product, same result, everything as Asian supermarket and TC Fresh supermarket. Why they're not busy, you know? Just like Bengal grocery store on Belmont and Abbey right there. You know, they used to be busy when it's owned by Hmong people, but now it's owned by Hindus. Nobody goes there because T doesn't simulate, you know, all his slut whores to go support that business. You see? You know, that's why you're not successful. Just like me, I open a security business and a janitorial business, but I get no service. I get raped and robbed. People don't pay me. They tell me to go do a contract, provide service, and they don't pay me. Or they pay me late, and now I have problem paying my security because I'm still waiting for the money from there. And now my security guard is coming after me and not after the client, you know? This is how I get screwed over. Okay? It's a dog-eat-dog world. It's an evil world. Things are not what they are, and things are not what they seem. Okay, guys? So this is how every business are successful. Okay? So just that you guys know. They're all criminal thugs, cartel gangsters. The real gangster, the real cartel is the business entrepreneur and the government. The people that wear a suit. The judge that holds a hammer. The cop that wear a uniform and holds a badge. They're the gangsters. They're the thugs that's going to sign on you and shut you up. You know? The street thugs are just whatever, you know? Hope you guys know that. You know? That's how people survive. That's how business survive. And this is how people that have house are able to pay the mortgage, the car loan, the credit card, their student loans. Because they're selling their ass. But now, Babylon's been shut down, so everybody went bankrupt. They invest all their money into XRP and crypto, and to me, I bankrupt the whole world. Now everybody's fucked. You know? And now that, Babylon shut down. The drug cartel shut down, so there's no way for people to make money. This is why the whole world went bankrupt. All the oil undergrounds are gone. All the water undergrounds are gone. That's why right now they're rationing all the fuel oil. All the oil around the world is gone. Look it up on YouTube, Facebook, and Google. I don't know why y'all, you know, still thinking the world's okay, and then the stock market is all-time high. You guys still going out, eat, party, drinking. Just a matter of time before Donald Duck, Superman pulls the plug. Man, you better lock and load and stock up, guys. Okay, things are not what they are. Things are not what they seem. Just a time before the music stops, and it's going to hit the fan on you if you're not prepared. So that's how America and the world built their wealth. And why the world went bankrupt and why America went bankrupt because of me, you know. I fuck everybody up, you know. Because everything I do, it matters, okay? So that's what really happening, and that's what's going on right now, okay, guys? So no business is making money anymore because they can't run human trafficking no more. They can't sell drugs anymore. Every single business is dirty. They're selling drugs and running human trafficking. That's how they survive and pay their bills. You know, they cannot make money by selling their goods, wherever goods they're at. Like Walmart, Costco, Best Buy, Home Depot, Lowe's. You can't survive. Look at all the utility, gas, water, telephone bill, workman's comp, you know, rental property. You can't survive, you know, because the expense costs too much, you know. Your revenue is not enough to cover all the expense, you know. I know that for myself because I run a business for myself. Yeah, I already know, you know. So that's the truth. That's what's really going on, okay? About all the business. And now all the businesses are bankrupt. They can't pay their dirty cop thugs or their street thugs. And they don't pay their tax to the city or the state or the federal anymore. So all the government went bankrupt. Everybody went bankrupt. Domino effects. If one domino falls, everybody falls. If there's a disruption in the chain, in the supply chain, everybody's fucked. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, not only that, we have no more oil. We cannot draw any more oil. There's no more water. That's why, and they're draining all the lakes, rivers, and just a matter of time before we run out of water and run out of gas. Okay, all the world has no more gas. Thailand, Australia, Philippines, China, Russia, Venezuela, South America, Mexico, they're all out of oil. Okay, just the U.S. left. So I hope you guys got the message. So you know that's the truth. That's what's really going on. That's what's happening. You already know if you're in the club. Okay. So that's how all the business survive. This is how people are able to pay the bill by selling their ass and selling drugs. Okay. How the government survive. How the dirty cops survive. Like the CIA, the FBI, the DEA, probation, police, sheriff, U.S. Marshal, Secret Service, whatever. They survive by selling drugs. This is how they bring monies into the department and running human trafficking through Tesla, Elon Musk. Okay, all the FBI are run by Elon Musk, Superman, Tesla. They run drug trafficking and they run human trafficking. And the CIA run human trafficking and drug trafficking. Okay, they're my cousin. My family is run by Tang Fong, White Dragon. You know, Tai Fung Group and Tai Seng Group, okay? Nobody not supposed to know about their existence. They are the shadow government, the cabal, the deep state, okay? So, you know, just that you guys know. This is how the government able to survive all this long. All the banksters, you know, they don't have money. They open a bank. And then they lie to people that they have like 500 trillion in asset. Reality, they probably just have like 100K. And then people depositing their money in there, and they steal people's money, and they loan out people's money by opening a bank, fake that they got whole much money back up, and they're backed up by the FDIC, which is bullcrap. And this is how people have trust and deposit the money. The moment you deposit your money in the bank, it's gone. They stole your money. This is how criminals steal your money. And now, you know, they know that most time people will not go back and take out all their money. You know, if they deposit 50K, 100K, and you know they're gonna try to get interest out of it. You know, so they're hoping that people don't do that. Everybody don't do that. Okay, certain people's gonna withdraw and they're gonna steal from Peter to pay Paul. Okay, now they took your money, and then a couple months later, you go take out money from that bank or from their branch. You're not taking out your money. You're taking out Paul's money. You are Peter. You are Paul, and you're taking out from Peter's money. Okay. It's not your money. This is how they're able to launder money and embezzle money and you know, get away for a long time, okay? But if everybody go in the bank and take out all the money at once, they're not going to have everybody's money, okay? Same thing like they sell paper gold. You know, they only have probably like 1,000 pounds, 500 pounds of gold, and they sell like 1,000,000 pounds of gold to pay people, you know? Yeah, it's real, it's true, it's legit, but they don't have that kind of money or gold. If everybody go and take out all at once, they don't have it, you know. This is how right now they're freezing people's account, they're locking up people's account, they limit people's withdrawing, you know. Just like right now, gas, they're limiting people's rationing gas right now. You know, you can't pump more than $100 gas right now, you know. You have to go to another gas station, you know. Life is a smoke and mirror, you know. Because things are not what they are and things are not what they seem. They program you and make you believe in a world that doesn't exist. You know, like how you sleep with your wife, you release your sperm into your wife's, you know, pizza and she got pregnant. That's what they want you to see life is. But do you really see your sperm inside your wife's pizza that goes into the egg and pregnant? No. That's how they want you to see life, you know. Because everybody's an artificial implant, baby. You know, and why are you paying child support? You know, just like the stock market all-time high, but when you drive around, every business is closed down. But why is the stock market all-time high on the screen? You know, it's a smoke and mirror. You know, just like all this rich people, all this entrepreneur donate millions and millions of dollars to charity. Yeah, they make themselves look good, but most of the money, this is how they embezzle their money and laundering money. They would donate like $50 million to Joe Blow's donation charity organization, and then they have to cash that money and then turn to cash and then wire it back to somebody, and that's how they steal money and write off their tax. See, they're making themselves look good, huh? And not on that, they just write off their tax that, hey, I donate $50 million to Joe Blow's nonprofit organization, you know. But really, I'm embezzling money and laundering money, you know. This is why I get all my dirty money back, you know. And this is how I steal my money back, you know. I'm at the same time, I'm making myself look good, you know. But nobody knows what's behind closed door, you know. This is how there's no such thing as free lunch. Everything is evil in plain sight. Okay, just like our government. There's our cop. And the entrepreneur, they're the thugs, the gangster, and they're murderers and rapists and killers and thieves. You know, but they make themselves look good, you know, because they hold a title, you know. But people are very stupid because they use psychological mind games to play you, psyop. And even though you know you're not going to rebel, you're not going to complain, you're not going to bite back, you know. This is how they're able to tame you and calm you, you know, by using a nice thing for you to see and a nice word, you know. So just that you guys know, you know, if you wake up yet or you don't give a care. Your house already burned, your car's already drove off the cliff, and you still eating, drinking, partying, you know. And then when reality hits you, game over for you, you know. Okay? But people still don't care. They will never learn their lesson. They never change. They don't care. You know, just like we're living in the end time, people still drinking, eating, having sex with each other. We are living in the days of Noah, you know. Look what happened to Gomorrah and Sodom and Gomorrah, you know. God warned you, you know, but people don't care, you know. I still see a lot of a-holes driving around. When I ride my e-bike, I still see a lot of people going out and eat like there's no tomorrow, man. You're eating plastic. All the foods are fake. The meats are fake. They're plastic. They're edible, but they're plastic. All the breads are plastic. You know? You pay $18, $20 for a McDonald's? Come on, man. You paying what, $7 to $10 for a latte at Starbucks? Come on, guys. And while you're driving out, wasting gas, you're losing money. When are you going to wake up, people? You know? You can go and gambling and lose all your money. Tell me one person in the history of mankind that somebody rich from gambling and buying lottery, you know, or those scratchers. Come on, man. It's a scam. You know, but people don't seem to care. They just keep doing it until they're, you know, all their hard-earned money goes into that machine. And they're just going to go through divorce, be in debt, and commit suicide because they lost all their money into the machine, into gambling, you know. I know relatives and family that lost all the money into casino and they just shot themselves and killed them. Or drive off the cliff, you know, and commit suicide because they lost all their money into the machine, you know. Yeah, you're going to win some here and there, a few thousand, few hundred, but you're going to put it back on the machine. You know, this is how they get you. 0%. You win 0%, okay, guys? So I just throw here and there. I got 4 minutes left. But this is how America and the world built their, wealth by selling their ass, you know, their pussy, and selling drugs, okay? And this is how people were able to pay the bills, but now everything's shut down, so everything's gone, so people are having a hard time making a living, you know? Okay? So just so you guys know, and wake up, guys, okay? Because when everything runs out, people's going to start killing and robbing each other. Your neighbor will rob you for food, okay? Because food is going to be priceless when everything's shut down. Because you need food to survive, you know? So you better be stocking up and locking low, people, okay? So I just want to throw here and there, but mainly this video is about how America built their wealth by selling their pussy and their ass and by selling drugs, okay? It doesn't matter who you are, where you work, where you live, what type of business. They're all selling pussy, selling ass, and selling drugs. That's where the real money's at, okay? Thank you.